Hello Game of Thrones freaks and geeks, and welcome to The Word from Westeros, the Game of Thrones weekly recap vlog, exclusively produced for AllGeekToMe.net. I'm Kait Calabro, and this is my show. And last week's season 6 finale was probably the best episode of television in television history. I'm so sorry, Battle of the Bastards. You were great and all, but I found something better, and it's the Winds of Winter. But before I start breaking down all the crazy epic plot twists of the finale, here's your watercolor recap of season 6, episode 10, The Winds of Winter. So Cersei Lannister literally sets the finale on fire when she uses wildfire to take down all of her enemies, which then leads into her becoming the ruler of the Seven Kingdoms. Yes, I am not kidding you. Cersei Lannister is now sitting on the Iron Throne. Arya Stark has landed back in Westeros, and she has brought her list, and she has already checked off several names when she takes down the Frey family. Sam reaches the Citadel. Cool. I mean, that's literally how I feel. Though I would love for someone to look at me the way Sam looks at books. Varys is able to recruit Team Tyrell and House Tyrell and House Martell to Team Targaryen. Did you get all that? Sansa flat out rejects anything that Littlefinger has to offer her, even though she says she owes him something, but she's not dealing with it. Thanks to Jon's #1 fan up in the north, Lyanna, the little bear. The North has proclaimed Jon as their new king, which could be really great or really bad, because look what happened to the last king in the North. I'm just saying, I can't deal with the Jon Snow death again. Game of Thrones, don't do it to me. Dany gives Tyrion Lannister the title of the Hand of the Queen before they sail off to Westeros. Finally, Dany gets on a damn ship with a bunch of ships from House Tyrell, Martell, Greyjoys, the ones that she took from the Maesters, and they are finally sailing off to Westeros. It's about frickin' time. But really, the only thing that matters to me about this finale is we finally get the confirmation of R plus L equals J. Yes. I feel like a little bit of me is just like, well, nothing will ever live up to this moment. Again, it's over. Part of my life is now completed because I know. And I was right. Alright, so this episode was 69 minutes long, which means there is a shitload of things that happen. But the main thing that we should take about from this episode is that it really is the beginning of the end here over at Game of Thrones. We are getting into the home stretch, as I said last week in The Word from Westeros when they started introducing the whole ice and fire scenario between Jon and Dany. Now things are really starting to move. You know, Jon is in control of the North. Cersei now is technically the leader or ruler of Westeros down in King's Landing. And Daenerys is on a ship sailing over. All of our people are coming to Westeros, coming home, and there's going to be a big battle. Oh, and don't forget about those damn White Walkers that are up in the North that are going to probably just massacre everything. So it's not really going to matter who has a stupid crown on their head and who's sitting on that uncomfortable throne, because the White Walkers are going to kill probably half the people that we love, and all the characters that we thought were going to make it till the end are probably not because of the White Walkers. Anyway, a huge chunk of what the internet has been buzzing about and that I'm going to talk about is Mad Queen Cersei, who is now sitting on the Iron Throne, because pretty much she was like, F you guys, I hate you all, so I'm going to literally light you on fire. So she uses wildfire and blows up the Sept, which had pretty much all the High Sparrows in it, all of his faith militant, pretty much all of House Tyrell was there. She takes out a lot of people at once. King Tommen was left behind in the castle, but once he found out that his beloved wife and the High Sparrow and everything was killed, ultimately figuring out that his mother was probably behind it, he just jumps out a window and kills himself. So the prophecy that we found out in episode 1 of season 5 about Cersei losing all of her children before she will die, that part of the prophecy has been fulfilled. And yes, the last child last child's death was pretty much directly a direct response to what Cersei did. So she's kind of responsible for Tommen dying. Just saying. So we all know throughout the whole entire series, Cersei has said it to us, that really the only thing she lives for is her children. So now that her children are gone, she's just gonna be like, boom, batshit crazy, because she's just power hungry and she don't give a fuck. And you I mean, that whole entire scene when she's walking to the throne room in that killer outfit, and she is just stone cold, stone hearted, like, yes, I am now your queen and you are all my peasants. And it is amazing, wicked, and frightening. Like, you don't know what emotion to feel when you are watching that scene. So Cersei is in charge, but half of her prophecy has been fulfilled, but there's still a huge chunk of this prophecy that is still to remain, which is what the internet and everyone and all Game of Thrones fans are talking about, is who's going to kill Cersei, pretty much. Prophecy says she is going to die, and very specifically, she's going to die by a little brother or a little sibling. The part of that prophecy was said in Valerian. It has been translated to either little sibling, little brother. And here's the thing, you're all thinking, right, oh, Tyrion Lannister is going to come over and he's going to kill Cersei. That makes sense. No, it's probably going to be Jaime Lannister, who is, even though him and Cersei are twins, is Cersei's younger brother. And if you saw that look on Jaime's face when he saw his sister lover ascend the throne, it was not of pride and joy, to say the least. Jaime has, and here there's some valid points to why Jaime would kill Cersei. It also would be a great full circle scenario for the character of Jaime Lannister, who has completely evolved since pushing Bran Stark out a window. It's kind of hard to think of them as the same person. And cutting off Ned Stark's hand. And he did a lot of bad things when you think about it. But anyway, let's not think too much about it. So Jaime isn't happy that Cersei is the queen, and the whole thing is, what would make it full circle is Jaime is the Kingslayer, and he's already slayed a mad ruler, the Mad King, who was the last king Targaryen in the Targaryen reign. Jaime killed the Mad King to protect his family, to protect the realm, because the Mad King was talking about just setting everything on fire with wildfire, something that Cersei has already done that Jaime's not too happy about. So in the end, Jaime could have a realization that killing Cersei would be for the greater good of the realm. So if he were to kill Cersei, it would end the Baratheon Lannister reign, to then bring back in a possible Targaryen reign, either from Daenerys or Jon, because they're both Targaryens. So it would kind of be like, he killed a Lannister to bring in a Baratheon, he killed a Targaryen to bring in a Baratheon that then became a Lannister, then he killed a Lannister to bring back in a Targaryen. So it would be like a full little circle for Jaime. And I mean, he deserves a little bit of peace. I know he's not a great person, I get it, but it would be a wickedly awesome character development move for Jaime, who's literally done everything because of his love for Cersei, for him just to be like, just to kill her. I mean, it would be tragically beautiful. Very Shakespearean. So I'm down for that. Another big thing that people are talking about that should be mentioned, that it's kind of plot altering, is that yes, thank God we did not get Lady Stoneheart. I'm not a Stoneheart fan. I never liked Catelyn. So Lady Stoneheart did not pop up in season 6, and I think at this point I don't think she's gonna pop up. But what people are now comparing to is maybe Arya Stark, who's now back in Westeros, will be taking on the role of Lady Stoneheart, who Lady Stoneheart, after Catelyn Stark is reincarnated or reborn as Lady Stoneheart. She can't talk, she's very angry and mad, and she's all about vengeance, and anyone that's done anything wrong to the Starks, which is pretty much what Arya is gonna do. So do you really need two people doing the same thing? Like, let's just let Arya do it. So I guess Arya could be the Lady Stoneheart of Game of Thrones, the television series. And then finally, yes, after so many seasons of wanting this to happen and the awful tease of the first half of the Tower of the Joy flashback, we get the finale version, the ending of the Tower of the Joy flashback. We finally see Lyanna Stark. We see that she has given birth to a baby. She asks Ned to promise her, and that he has to, because if Robert ever found out, you know what he would do. You know he would kill him. And Ned is handed a beautiful baby boy with big blue, brown eyes that look up at him. And then super cut to present day Jon Snow. So there you go. Jon Snow is Lyanna Stark's son. But because they didn't say anything about Rhaegar, people on the internet were like, oh my god, but who's the father? That doesn't mean that Rhaegar's the father. Whatever. It does. And Game of Thrones and HBO kind of slyly confirmed it by posting this extremely interesting and kind of complex diagram, basically being like, this is who Lyanna's connected to, and this is who Jon's connected to, and then if you look at the parent lines, it's Lyanna and Rhaegar. So there you go. So it is R+L=J. Which brings up a huge topic that I spent my whole episode on last week, the whole introduction of Ice and Fire. So is Ice and Fire going to be Jon and Dany, or is it just going to be Jon? Because technically Jon is within himself Ice and Fire. Ice from his mother Lyanna, and fire from his father Rhaegar. I still believe in my hearts of hearts that Jon might have the exact same abilities as his aunt Daenerys, who's able to be unburnt. She can walk through fire. Because there was that scene in season 1 where he saved Lord Commander from the White Walkers, and he picked up a lantern that was on fire, and he had like no marks or bruises, and the Lord Commander was like, oh, didn't that hurt? And Jon was like, no. So I mean, it's possible that Jon and Daenerys have the same abilities. It's just that Dany doesn't have any ice in her. She's pure fire. So I mean, I don't know what this is really gonna mean. Jon has yet to find out that he's actually a Targaryen and a Stark. Daenerys has no clue that she has a nephew over in Westeros that's Jon Snow. So I mean, Bran really's got to come in and like kind of tell people what's going on before we can assume. But either way, I'm just not gonna like if it's like a Jon versus Dany thing in the end, because I'm not gonna know what side. Very trying times. But really, what we need to take away from this is R+L=J is real, and Cersei is the queen of Westeros. So it's gonna be a great final 13 or 14 episodes, people. It really is. I can't wait. I can't wait, and I can't believe I now have to wait till 2017. But I say that after every season. What are you gonna do? R+L=J. Well, that's a wrap for this episode of The Word from Westeros, and it's also a wrap for Game of Thrones Season 6. Thank you so much for watching throughout the season, and especially watching this episode or whatever episodes you've watched. And please make sure to subscribe to AllGeekToMeTV on YouTube so you never miss another episode of this show, and also check out our other cool geeky content that we post up on the page. You can head over to allgeektome.net immediately following watching this video to read my full recap of The Winds of Winter, and also you can check out my Game of Thrones Season 7 rumors roundup post, because there's already a bunch of them out. You can follow me on Twitter at Kait Calabro for up-to-the-minute Game of Thrones news, and also see what I'm going to be doing on my very long Game of Thrones hiatus. It's gonna be rough. Game of Thrones is set to return for the 7th season in 2017. And until next time, remember, you either win or you die. And clearly it's worked out for Cersei, that words of wisdom. So long may she reign.